Robin Williams truly hated her more than anyone. Robin Williams was born Robin McLaren Williams on July 21, 1951, in Chicago, Illinois, into a family that straddled both privilege and imagination. His father, Robert Fitzgerald Williams, was a senior executive at Ford Motor Company, while his mother, Laurie McLaren, was a former model with a sharp sense of humor that deeply influenced her son. Growing up in the upscale suburbs of Detroit and later in Marin County, California, Robin had a relatively comfortable childhood. But beneath that comfort was a boy who felt lonely and isolated. To cope, he found refuge in laughter. He entertained himself and others by mimicking voices, inventing characters, and imagining entire worlds. This unique ability to turn pain into humor would later become the foundation of his career and legacy. Williams attended Claremont Men's College before transferring to the College of Marine, where he discovered a passion for acting. He then earned a full scholarship to the prestigious Juilliard School in New York City, where he trained under the legendary John Houseman. There he developed a close friendship with fellow student Christopher Reeve, a bond that would last a lifetime. Although Williams was one of only 2 students in his class, the other being Reeve, selected for Juilliard's advanced program, he eventually left in 1976 to pursue stand-up comedy full-time. He realized that his true calling was not just in acting, but in the spontaneous, high-energy world of improvisational performance. His comedic style, rapid-fire, unpredictable, and infused with both brilliance and chaos, set him apart from anyone else on stage. Robin Williams exploded onto the entertainment scene in the late 1970s when he was cast as Mork, an alien from the planet Ork, in the sitcom Mork and Mindy, 1978-1982. What began as a one-off guest appearance on Happy Days turned into a cultural phenomenon. His manic energy, lightning wit, and lovable eccentricity captivated audiences across America. Viewers had never seen anyone quite like him. He was both hilariously funny and profoundly human. The show made Williams a household name and earned him his first Emmy nomination. Behind the laughter, though, Robin was wrestling with the darker sides of fame, including the pressures of constant creativity and early struggles with substance abuse, a battle he would continue to confront throughout his life. As his career evolved, Robin Williams proved that he was far more than a comedian. He became one of Hollywood's most versatile and respected actors. His breakthrough dramatic performance came with Good Morning Vietnam, 1987, where he portrayed the irreverent radio DJ Adrian Cronauer. The role showcased his ability to blend comedy and emotion seamlessly, earning him an Academy Award nomination. This was followed by other unforgettable performances. Dead Poets Society, 1989, where he inspired audiences as the passionate English teacher John Keating. Awakenings, 1990, in which he played a compassionate neurologist. And The Fisher King, 1991, where he balanced madness and heartbreak with profound humanity. His portrayal of the beloved genie in Disney's Aladdin, 1992, introduced his genius to a new generation and remains one of the most iconic voice performances in film history. Williams also brought joy through family-friendly films like Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, Jumanji, 1995, and Hook, 1991, where his boundless energy and emotional depth turned fantasy into something tangible. Yet he could equally devastate audiences with his dramatic work. His performance in Good Will Hunting, 1997, as Sean Maguire, a wise and compassionate therapist, earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. In that role, he delivered one of cinema's most heartfelt lines, "You're not perfect, sport, and let me save you the suspense. This girl you met isn't perfect either. But the question is whether or not you're perfect for each other." That quiet, honest wisdom became symbolic of the man himself, flawed but endlessly compassionate. Robin Williams' romantic life was as colorful, complex, and deeply human as the man himself, a reflection of his boundless heart, emotional depth, and constant search for love, connection, and companionship. Over the course of his life, the beloved comedian and Oscar-winning actor was married 3 times, each union marking a distinct chapter in his personal journey, filled with joy, challenges, creative energy, and lessons in the bittersweet nature of human relationships. His first marriage was to Valerie Velarde, whom he wed in 1978 at the dawn of his fame. This was the same period when Robin's comedic brilliance was taking flight with his breakout role as the lovable alien Mork. Valerie, a talented dancer and artist, met Robin during his early years as a struggling comedian in San Francisco. Their relationship grew out of genuine affection and a shared artistic spirit long before fame came knocking. She supported him through the chaos of his early career, standing by his side as his name began to echo across Hollywood. However, as Robin's stardom exploded and the pressures of fame intensified, their marriage began to strain under the weight of his hectic schedule, touring demands, and the temptations that accompanied celebrity life. The couple welcomed a son, Zachary "Zach" Williams, in 1983, and Robin adored him deeply. He would later call fatherhood one of the greatest gifts of his life. Yet by 1988, after a decade of marriage, Robin and Valerie divorced. Though their union ended, they remained cordial, united by their shared love for Zach and their mutual respect for the years they had spent building a family together. Just a year later, in 1989, Robin found love again with Marcia Garces, who had been Zach's nanny and later his personal assistant. Over time, a deep friendship blossomed into romance. Their relationship surprised some, given its unconventional beginning, but for Robin, it was a partnership rooted in understanding, compassion, and creative collaboration. Marcia became a film producer and worked alongside Robin on several of his projects, including Patch Adams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Together they had 2 children, Zelda Ray Williams, born in 1989 and named after the video game character, and Cody Allen Williams, born in 1991. Robin often spoke of his immense love for his children, drawing inspiration and humor from fatherhood itself, a recurring theme in both his comedy and personal reflections. However, fame once again cast a shadow over his happiness. The demands of his career, combined with his ongoing struggles with addiction and depression, placed enormous strain on the marriage. After more than 20 years together, Robin and Marcia separated in 2008 and finalized their divorce in 2010. In 2011, Robin married Susan Schneider, a graphic designer and artist he met at an Apple store in Marin County, California. Susan later recalled that she was immediately drawn to his warmth and gentle humor, not his celebrity. Their relationship grew into a deep and loving partnership, providing Robin with comfort and companionship during his later years. Susan became a pillar of support as Robin faced mounting health challenges, including heart surgery in 2009 and the devastating neurological symptoms of what was later diagnosed as Lewy body dementia. Despite his illness, Robin and Susan shared laughter, tenderness, and quiet happiness at their home in Tiburon, California. They remained married until Robin's tragic death in August 2014, a loss that shook the world and led Susan to become an advocate for awareness of the disease that took his life. For decades, Robin Williams and Sally Field were 2 of Hollywood's most beloved and respected actors, both capable of making audiences laugh one moment and cry the next. They shared the screen in the 1993 blockbuster Mrs. Doubtfire, a film that became a family classic and showcased their incredible chemistry as a divorced couple trying to navigate life after separation. To the outside world, it appeared as though the 2 stars got along perfectly. However, behind the scenes, things were reportedly not as harmonious as fans might have believed. There were moments of tension, creative clashes, and personality differences that made their working relationship far more complicated than their warm smiles suggested. According to people close to the production, Robin Williams could be unpredictable on set. His genius for improvisation often led him to go off script, adding lines and antics that sometimes left his co-stars struggling to keep up. Sally Field, on the other hand, was known for her professionalism and discipline. She valued precision, structure, and preparation. This contrast in styles created friction. While Robin thrived in chaos, Sally preferred control. "Sally didn't find me funny all the time," Robin once joked, half smiling, but with a hint of truth beneath his humor. "She had that look, that mom looked like she wanted to ground me." Their different approaches to acting sometimes clashed. Robin's constant improvisations often resulted in countless retakes, frustrating the crew. Sally, coming from a background of drama and method acting, sometimes found his comedic spontaneity exhausting. "I think she thought I was just a big kid running around with too much sugar," Robin once said with a laugh. She'd give me that stare, the kind that could stop your heart, and I knew I'd better stick to the script. Behind the laughter, though, was real strain. Feud, known for her emotional depth, sometimes viewed Robin's constant joking as a defense mechanism, a way of hiding his insecurities and pain. Meanwhile, Robin reportedly found Sally's seriousness intimidating. He admired her talent, but her perfectionism sometimes made him feel judged or constrained. Even after filming ended, Robin occasionally hinted at their off-screen tension in interviews, always through humor. He once said, "Working with Sally was like being in therapy with a referee. You want to laugh, but you also don't want to get yelled at." Those who knew Robin understood that humor was his armor. In truth, his relationship with Sally Feud was a blend of admiration and frustration. Two brilliant performers who operated on very different emotional frequencies. Still, hate might have been too strong a word. What he likely felt was a mix of respect and irritation. An emotional push and pull born from their differences in energy and temperament. Sally Feud later spoke warmly of Robin after his death, saying he was more than the genius we saw on screen. He was the most delicate, vulnerable soul. Those words revealed that despite their differences, she recognized the pain behind his humor, the deep humanity that made him so unique. Yet for Robin, those years working alongside her remained challenging. Sally could cut through you with one look, he once admitted privately. She didn't buy the clown act. That was what made her great, but also what made her hard to be around. To someone like Williams, whose entire being was built around making people laugh, being around someone who saw straight through the act could be uncomfortable. She forced him to confront parts of himself he tried to bury beneath comedy. In the end, Robin Williams and Sally Feud represented two sides of Hollywood's golden heart. The manic spark of improvisation and the disciplined fire of craft. They may not have been close friends off-screen, and their relationship may have been fraught with moments of misunderstanding. But together they created one of the most touching and enduring on-screen partnerships of the 1990s. Behind the laughter, the tension between them may have fueled the authenticity that made Mrs. Doubtfire unforgettable. And while Robin might have joked that he truly hated her more than anyone, those who knew him best understood that his words, like his comedy, always carried layers, a blend of humor, truth, and affection wrapped inside the soul of a man who felt everything deeply. Tragically, behind his laughter, Williams struggled with depression, anxiety, and later the effects of undiagnosed Lewy body dementia, a progressive neurological disease that affects thinking, memory, and mood. On August 11, 2014, the world was shocked by the news of his death at age 63. It was a loss that felt deeply personal to millions of fans who had grown up with his movies. His stand-up and his heartfelt interviews, tributes poured in from around the globe. Fellow comedians, actors, and everyday people all shared how Robin Williams had made them feel less alone. Even NASA honored him by tweeting, "We will miss you, Robin Williams. We watched your movies. Now you're in our galaxy." All from the King of Time, Robin Williams.